High up in the mountains of Ethiopia and Eritrea, a great kingdom began to grow. This was the Kingdom of Aksum, a powerful force over 2,000 years ago. Aksum had a great location on the Red Sea coast. This made it a center for trade. Roads connecting the Roman Empire, Persia and India all met in Aksum's busy ports. Aksumite traders sold ivory, gold, incense and exotic animals. These valuable goods made the kingdom very rich. The Aksumites created a unique culture mixing African, Mediterranean and Arabian ideas. They built tall obelisks marking their burial places. These monuments, some taller than a 10-story building, showed Aksum's skill and power. The Aksumite kings, called the Nagusa Nagas, meaning King of Kings, ruled a huge area. They had a strong army with iron weapons. Aksum's army conquered lands in Arabia and Yemen. By the 3rd century AD, Aksum was at its peak, controlling Red Sea trade and influencing the entire area. But a big change was coming, not from war, but from a new religion. This faith would change Aksum and the countries that came after it forever. It would become a core part of who they were, a source of strength and sometimes conflict. In the 4th century AD, a young king named Ezana became the ruler of Aksum. His time as king was a very important moment. A Syrian Christian missionary named Frumentius taught Ezana about Christianity. Ezana liked it so much he made it the official religion of Aksum, one of the first empires in the world to do so. Ezana becoming Christian changed many things. It connected Aksum to the Byzantine Empire, another powerful Christian kingdom. This friendship created new chances for trade. Christianity also brought reading and writing and new art and architecture. Churches and monasteries like those in Byzantium started appearing all over Aksum. Christianity also changed Aksum's beliefs. The old polytheistic beliefs, where people believed in many gods, slowly changed to the monotheistic faith, the belief in one God. This change wasn't easy. People who followed the old ways resisted, causing problems in the kingdom. But even with these problems, Aksum's Christian identity became a big part of its culture and government. It shaped how Aksum interacted with its neighbors, some of whom followed Islam. This sometimes led to cooperation, and sometimes to conflict. This added another layer to Aksum's rich history. As Aksum became weaker in the 7th century AD, a new family of kings came to power. They said they were related to the famous King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. This family, called the Solomonid Dynasty, ruled the lands that were once Aksum for hundreds of years. They said they were descendants of Menelik I, the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. The story goes that Menelik I brought the Ark of the Covenant to Aksum. The Solomonid kings used this story to show they had the right to rule. They said God chose them. This story was important to the Ethiopian people. It connected them to their great past. The Solomonid era saw a revival of culture and religion. The Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, connected to the Coptic Church of Alexandria, grew stronger. Monasteries, often built high in the mountains, became centers of learning and faith. Monks protected old books, created religious art, and taught people to read and write. But the Solomonid dynasty also had problems. People fought to be king, there were rebellions and attacks from nearby Muslim sultanates. The kingdom grew bigger and smaller, with times of greatness and times of hardship. Under the Solomonid kings, the Ethiopian state, now called Abyssinia, grew bigger and stronger. Powerful rulers wanted to expand their control, conquering new lands and making alliances with nearby kingdoms. This led to fights with Muslim sultanates, especially the Adal Sultanate to the east. The Abyssinian rulers, strong in their faith, built amazing rock-hewn churches carved right into the mountains. These incredible buildings, like the churches of Lalibela, show the skill and religious passion of the medieval Abyssinians. Lalibela, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, became a symbol of Abyssinian strength and Christian faith. The churches, each made from a single piece of rock, represent different parts of Christianity. People came from far away to see them, making Abyssinia known as a holy land. But these times of growth and culture were often interrupted by fighting within the kingdom and attacks from outside. The balance of power in the Horn of Africa was always changing, and Abyssinia had to constantly defend its borders and its unique identity, its warrior culture and its deep religious beliefs. Abyssinia's geography, the land itself, helped it survive. The rugged mountains and high plateaus were natural barriers against invaders. The steep slopes and narrow passes made it hard for enemy armies to get into the Abyssinian heartland. Abyssinian rulers built their capitals and forts in the mountains, making them hard to conquer. For example, the city of Gondar with its impressive castles showed Abyssinian power and strength. Its location and strong defenses helped it survive many attacks. The Abyssinian people also became great warriors, after centuries of defending their land. They were skilled horsemen and archers, good at fighting in the mountains. The Abyssinian army, often made up of ordinary farmers, fought bravely for their faith and their homes. But it wasn't just geography and fighting skill that kept Abyssinia safe. It was also their strong faith. Christianity united the diverse people of Abyssinia. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church, with its rich traditions and deep spiritual roots, gave them a shared identity and purpose. Abyssinia's resistance reached its peak in the late 1800s. European powers, wanting to control Africa, tried to colonize the continent. Italy wanted Abyssinia, but the Abyssinians, led by Emperor Menelik II, were ready to fight. The Battle of Adwa in 1896 was a turning point in African history. The Abyssinian army, with modern guns and cannons, completely defeated the Italians. This victory shocked the world. It showed that Europeans could be defeated and inspired other Africans to resist colonial rule. Abyssinia, later called Ethiopia, remained free during the age of colonialism. It became a symbol of African resistance and self-rule. Its ancient culture, unique Christian heritage, and strong spirit of independence continue to inspire people everywhere. The story of Abyssinia is one of resilience, faith, and the fight for freedom. It shows the strength of the African people and their ability to resist oppression. When we look back at Abyssinia's long and exciting history, we remember the power of human resilience, the importance of cultural heritage, and the continuing fight for freedom and self-determination.